What is licorice? Licorice is a sweet treat that has a distinctive flavor, often reminiscent of the herbal taste of aniseed. Is licorice good for you? While I enjoy the taste of licorice, I've learned that consuming it in large amounts can be bad for your health due to its high sugar content and potential side effects. What is licorice made of? Licorice is traditionally made from the root of the licorice plant, which gives it its unique flavor, though many candies use artificial flavors to mimic this. Are Twizzlers licorice? I've found that Twizzlers are not true licorice. They're more of a chewy, fruity candy with a different taste than traditional licorice. Can dogs eat licorice? I wouldn't give my dog licorice because it contains ingredients that could upset their stomach or cause other issues. How long does licorice stay in your system? In my experience, licorice can linger in your system for a few days, affecting your taste buds and sometimes causing a temporary sugar rush. How to make licorice? Making licorice at home can be a fun experiment. I've tried boiling licorice root and mixing it with sweeteners to create a homemade version, though it's quite an involved process. Is licorice fattening? I've noticed that indulging in too much licorice can contribute to weight gain due to its high sugar content. Is licorice root safe for pregnancy? From what I've read and heard, licorice root is generally advised against during pregnancy due to potential health risks. Is licorice gluten-free? In my experience, most licorice is gluten-free, but I always check labels to be sure, especially when it's store-bought. What vegetable tastes like licorice? I've found that fennel has a flavor that's quite similar to licorice, and it's a great alternative for recipes. Where to buy licorice root? I usually find licorice root at health food stores or specialty herbal shops, where it's often sold in dried form or as a tea. What poison smells like licorice? It's a bit unsettling, but I've learned that certain poisons like cyanide can have a faint licorice-like odor. Does licorice have caffeine? Licorice doesn't have caffeine, which is great if I want to avoid stimulants but still enjoy a sweet treat. Is licorice low FODMAP? Licorice isn't considered low FODMAP, so I avoid it if I'm following a FODMAP-friendly diet. Can you freeze licorice? I've frozen licorice before to keep it fresh longer, and it seems to hold up well, though the texture might change slightly. How many calories in licorice? A serving of licorice can have a surprising amount of calories, and I've had to be mindful of my portion sizes to avoid overindulging. Licorice versus anise. I've always found anise to have a more delicate, sweet flavor compared to the bold, robust taste of licorice, making anise my go-to for lighter, subtler dishes, while licorice is what I reach for when I want a stronger, more assertive flavor. Licorice versus Twizzlers. For me, Twizzlers are a fun, chewy candy that gives a sweet, less complex taste, while real licorice has that deep herbal flavor that I really enjoy in moderation, making it a more sophisticated treat compared to the simple, nostalgic enjoyment of Twizzlers. Licorice versus Licorice. When it comes to the spelling differences, I've noticed that licorice, with a C, just feels more authentic and traditional to me, reflecting the classic European style, while licorice, with an S, seems more American and is what I usually encounter in candies and sweets. Licorice versus aniseed. I prefer aniseed for its lighter, sweeter hint, which is great for adding a touch of flavor without overpowering a dish, whereas licorice's deeper, more complex taste tends to stand out more and can be a bit much if used in excess. Licorice versus star anise. Star anise has this striking, star-shaped appearance and a sweet, pungent aroma that I absolutely love for its unique, aromatic punch, whereas licorice, though delicious, lacks the dramatic flair of star anise and offers a more subdued sweetness.